An area healthcare provider hosts a groundbreaking ceremony for a new education center for future physicians.
President Biden defends his multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure and families plans. I'm Skyler Henry at the White House with a look at his recent trip and a look at the Republican counter proposals.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
More chances for rain and storms tonight. This is KOAM News at 5. We turn now to Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty for a first look at the weather.
Yeah, it's been another warm day for us today. A lot of clouds across the region, and we have had some spotty little showers popping up, mainly along and south of Interstate 44, but really no thunderstorms to speak of. Any thunderstorms are mainly Springfield and east, but we are going to get a few spotty little thunder showers throughout the evening hours, and then later on tonight we'll start to see better chances for showers and thunderstorms, but you can see not much out there right now. Most of the action is going to be down through eastern Oklahoma. You can see our cold front is already through. It's in our southern counties, and because we're on the north side of the cold front, we're just going to get good old showers and thunderstorms. Any severe weather is mainly going to stay south of that front. So let's go through the evening hours. A few spotty little showers, but showers and thunderstorms increase late this evening. Some of these could put down some pretty heavy amounts of rain, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, kind of a loud night, and then showers and thunderstorms, they're actually going to stick around as we go into the morning hours for us tomorrow. So of course we're going to break down this entire storm system for you here in just a little bit.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Doug. The Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas is starting a big project to improve the future of health care in rural Kansas. The Community Health Center today broke ground on the John Parolo Education Center. The $6 million facility will offer educational spaces and programs for KU medical students doing their residency at the health center. It'll also offer educational programs for younger students who may have an interest in the medical field.
Rural Kansas, rural Missouri are losing doctors faster than they can keep them. The average age here for a dentist or a doctor is 60. And there is no hope of replacing them with recruitment. So if you raise kids, you train kids next door to their mom and dad, they're going to maybe stay put and raise their kids here.
The clinic hopes to have the building completed by May of 2022. Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more about what the clinic and the center will offer and the impact officials hope it will have in the area. President Biden today continued his Getting America Back on Track tour in Virginia, where he listed and visited local schools to tout his twin policy proposals for infrastructure and families. Reporter Skyler Henry is at the White House with more.
Education was the focus as President Biden traveled to Southeast Virginia to sell his roughly $4 trillion jobs and families plan. His proposals call for universal preschool, tuition-free community college, and expanded child care benefits.
They're all our children, and they are the kite strings that literally lift our national ambitions aloft. So we got to invest in them.
The president delivered his remarks at a community college where he and the First Lady also toured an HVAC class.
The good thing is you guys will get jobs. I mean, that's the beauty of community college.
Earlier, they visited a local elementary school. Republicans have criticized the president's infrastructure and families plans for their price tag and the proposed tax hikes on wealthy Americans. Monday, the president pushed back.
For too long, we've had an economy that gives every break in the world to the folks who need it the least. It's time to grow the economy from the bottom up and the middle out.
None of my Republican colleagues are going to support a $4.1 trillion infrastructure package, only part of which is for infrastructure.
Senate Republicans have their own nearly $600 billion infrastructure counteroffer. But President Biden says the polls are in his favor.
Republican voters overwhelmingly support it. Now I just got to get some of my Republican colleagues to support it.
The president has bipartisan meetings planned at the White House in the coming weeks as negotiations continue, though the White House says if necessary, he will consider trying to pass the bills without Republican support. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Tomorrow, Vice President Kamala Harris will travel to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where she'll also tout the president's infrastructure and families proposals. The withdrawal of the last U.S. troops from Afghanistan started over the weekend. As it began, the U.S. military's top general said Afghan forces, in a worst-case scenario, could face what he called bad possible outcomes against the Taliban without U.S. assistance. Another point of concern, the fight for women's rights in Afghanistan after U.S. forces leave. In Taliban-controlled areas, they've already stopped girls from going to school. A boat packed with people suspected to be migrants ran aground near San Diego yesterday, killing 3 people and injuring dozens more. Border Patrol officials believe the boat was being used for human smuggling. The boat's captain is in custody. Border Patrol agents are interviewing survivors. Smugglers typically face federal charges, and those being smuggled are usually deported. Missouri is expanding its energy assistance program to more people and extending the deadline for applications. The program that helps pay utility bills of eligible low to moderate income families and individuals is now available to Missourians who make up to 60% of the state median income. You have until May 31st to apply. You can get more information on the guidelines and how to apply at KOAMnewsnow.com. Coming up in Health Watch, staying safe out in the sun.
Raising awareness about the deadliest form of skin cancer on this Melanoma Monday. I'm Elise Preston with why doctors say no one is safe.
And later, the latest shortage caused by the pandemic is affecting the chicken industry. CDC data shows more than 40% of U.S. adults and 7 in 10 seniors are now fully vaccinated. Across the nation, 23 states, including Florida and New York, are seeing a decline in infections, but in 5 states, cases are on the rise. State health officials say the UK variant is one factor driving the increase, but U.S. travel is taking off. The TSA says it screened more than 1.6 million passengers at airport checkpoints yesterday. That's the highest number since the pandemic hit. A new study finds planned cesarean deliveries are safe for low-risk pregnancies and may even be safer than planned traditional deliveries. Canadian researchers found planned C-sections were associated with a lower risk of adverse outcomes for both mother and baby. But authors say more research is needed to understand possible harmful long-term effects, such as the child's risk for respiratory illness. It's Melanoma Monday, a day to raise awareness for the most serious form of skin cancer. Melanoma accounts for only about 1% of skin cancers, but causes the majority of skin cancer deaths. Reporter Elise Preston has more on how to protect yourself.
Yvonne Basil was diagnosed with melanoma on her pinky toe 5 years ago. She was completely surprised.
Because you're Black, was that kind of the root of some of your shock?
Yes. And funny you should say that, because that went through my mind. I'm thinking, Black people don't get melanoma.
It's a common misconception, but people of all skin tones get skin cancer, with melanoma being one of the deadliest forms. Dr. Samal Desai with the American Academy of Dermatology says performing self-exams is important.
Look for spots on your skin. Maybe they look dark, they're new, something has changed. See a board-certified dermatologist as immediately as possible so that we can potentially help diagnose and treat that skin cancer at an earlier stage.
Rates of melanoma have been rising over the last several decades. Research shows when skin cancer develops in people of color, it's often diagnosed at a later stage.
We know that the outcome can actually be more impactful in terms of long-term morbidity and mortality.
Experts say everyone is at risk for skin cancer, regardless of age, gender, or race, but you can reduce your risk. Use a broad-spectrum water-resistant sunscreen with an SPF of 30 or higher. Reapply every 2 hours and stay in the shade midday when the sun is strongest.
Why is it important for you to spread the word, not to just everybody, but especially people who look like you?
As African Americans, sometimes we have that fear of, saying, oh, no, if I go to the doctor, I'm going to find out something's going to be bad. This is serious.
Doctors had to remove Yvonne's toe. She remains cancer-free and protects herself outdoors as best she can. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Most cases of melanoma are attributable to UV exposure, which is why prevention is critical. It's estimated 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in their lifetime. New research shows transplants using hearts from people who died of cardiac arrest are feasible. Researchers at NYU looked at 8 cases where surgeons resuscitated the hearts before transplantation. In all 8 cases, the hearts were accepted by the transplant recipients. And a new study in pediatrics finds asking young people certain questions about smoking could help predict who will become cigarette smokers. Youths who said Yes to questions about their curiosity regarding cigarettes, as well as plans to try them, were indeed significantly more likely to take up smoking. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, the nation's second biggest home improvement chain announces a hiring spree.
Plus, it looks like more showers and thunderstorms rolling in tonight. Those details coming up. Well, it turned out to be a pretty good weekend for us, and today not bad. A lot of clouds, but temperatures warm, and more rain is in the forecast. So far today, we haven't had any rain, but we are going to get showers and thunderstorms in here during the overnight hours for us tonight. For the year, we are just shy of 15 inches across the region. Average is just shy of 13 inches, so we're above average by about 2 inches of rain, and we're going to get some more rain throughout the overnight hours tonight. 73 in Nevada, 74 in Miami, 74 in Anderson. Pittsburgh is sitting at 73. We have 78 in Chanute, and we had southerly winds, but look at the wind shift line that dropped through during the afternoon. That is our cold front, and it's way down in our southern counties, so we have a north wind at about 5 to 10 to 15, and that is a little bit more of a stable air mass across the region. Cloudy skies currently sitting at 74. North winds at about 10. Humidity is at 66%. Through the evening hours, we'll drop back through the 70s, 60s, eventually down near 50 a little bit later on tonight. But we do have the clouds and some spotty light little showers. There's a pretty good cap in the atmosphere, so not much has gotten going along and south of Interstate 44. We have gotten at least a few little thunderstorms off to our east near Springfield, but we may get a few hit and miss little isolated storms popping up south of I-44 over the next couple hours. But all the big weather is going to occur right where the front is. You can see the front right down through Oklahoma. So along and south of the front, that's where the showers and thunderstorms have the potential to be severe and already starting to pop up right along the I-35 corridor from Oklahoma City to Dallas. But most of this is going to drive into northwestern Arkansas and really isn't going to affect us severe-wise, but we are going to get showers and thunderstorms. On the backside, we got a band of rain that's going to roll in late tonight and through the morning hours for us tomorrow. So pretty quiet this evening, then showers and thunderstorms get going late this evening. Some of these will produce some thunder and lightning, some batches of heavy amounts of rain, especially along and south of the I-44 corridor. A little bit more spotty once you get out across southeastern Kansas. But periods of showers and thunderstorms into the morning hours, and then we'll get a band of just kind of showers as we go through the morning hours tomorrow. And then I think most of this will be out of here by early afternoon. So here's the noon hour. Rain starts to exit, get a little bit of sunshine late in the day, but temperature is going to be cooler. 51 by noon with a little bit of sunshine late. We should make it near 60 for an afternoon high. Tomorrow night, we drop back into the 40s, so kind of cool. And then we'll get some clouds in here on Wednesday, and our next system will start to affect us Wednesday night. That will give us a few showers. All right, rainfall amounts with this system, heaviest along and south of I-44. I think most of us will pick up a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain in some spots. So another round of fairly decent amounts of rain. 60 tomorrow, 67 on Wednesday, 65 with some morning showers Thursday. 73 Friday, thunderstorms back in late Saturday. Some of those could be strong to severe. Also tonight at 10, we'll do the month-long forecast.
Looking forward to that, as always. Thanks, Doug. Coming up, why restaurants around the country are dealing with a shortage of chicken. First, though, we honor a local World War I veteran. William Scott served in the U.S. Army from 1917 to 1919. Fort Scott, Kansas native was stationed in France and Germany and earned a Purple Heart. And we salute Sergeant William Scott, a four-state hero. Topping Consumer Watch, Lowe's is going on a hiring spree. The nation's second biggest improvement chain, home improvement chain, says it wants to bring on more than 50,000 new workers at stores all across the country. The company will host a national hiring day tomorrow where people can apply and interview in person at its stores. Lowe's is looking to fill a variety of part and full-time positions. Boy, what a difference a year makes. According to a new Gallup poll, more than half of Americans feel their finances are in better shape than at the start of the pandemic. 52% of respondents say they've seen an improvement in their financial situation this year compared to just 35% at the start of the pandemic. And the last time people were this optimistic was in 2019. Delta Airlines is no longer blocking middle seats. The air carrier dropped its middle seat blocking policy on May 1st and says it's resumed selling tickets to full capacity. Top brass say vaccination rates gave it the confidence to resume sales. Grease up those grocery cart wheels. According to a study from Inmar Intelligence, nearly 1/3 of consumers are getting their groceries in store. And 48% call themselves hybrid shoppers, meaning they do a mix of in-store and online shopping now. But some pandemic habits might be here to stay. More than half said they will continue to stockpile items like toilet paper and cleaning supplies. The pandemic continues to lead to shortages. The latest is tightening the supplies of a favorite comfort food. Michael George reports.
My Mama's Kitchen in Norfolk, Virginia sells a variety of dishes, but one item soars above the rest.
Wings are my top selling item. No question about it.
Owner Mo Stevenson says he's paying more for wings. Drumstick prices have tripled since last year.
I thought it would drop off after Super Bowl like it usually does. March Madness is done. Okay, boom. No, it's actually going up.
It's a nationwide issue. Duff's Famous Wings in Buffalo can't always get what they need.
We're getting about 2/3 of what we typically would order. There's some days our food reps will call us and they say we might not be able to get you anything.
Part of the reason is the winter freeze that hit Texas and surrounding states in February. Some chicken plants in the region closed temporarily, causing a supply disruption. At the same time, wings and other chicken products are in high demand as Americans turn to comfort food during the pandemic. McDonald's and KFC are seeing a boost in sales from their new fried chicken sandwiches as they compete with Popeye's popular sandwich. Those fast food giants haven't reported any supply issues, but last week, Bojangles tweeted a temporary shortage of chicken tenders at hundreds of their restaurants. The National Chicken Council says production is now on the rise, and supplies should soon catch up to demand.
It's just the mantra of the year. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep pushing, and we just got to get through this.
My Mama's Kitchen was forced to raise menu prices because of higher costs. But that isn't stopping customers from buying the popular wings. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Final check of the forecast next. The CBS Evening News is next. Then on KOIM News at 6, we're going to hear more from Community Health Center of SEK officials on the Future Education Center. Plus, a former Webb City junior high teacher is sentenced for child molestation charges. And how human error ended up paying off for a Joplin man playing the lottery. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOIM News at 6. Hilton is giving its pet guests the royal treatment overseas. The hotel chain is serving up a Bon Appetit menu in select hotels in the UK and Ireland. Furry friends can indulge in a savory beef dogjon or a gluten-free mutt roast. Pooches can unwind by sipping an Earl Greyhound or the non-alcoholic wine Tailwagger Creek. It's nice to spoil our dogs sometimes, but there are limits to how much a dog can appreciate it, I think.
That is also very true, too.
I'm not sure the dog should be eating better than we are.
True.
Okay.
All right, showers, thunderstorms for us tonight. Most of these are going to stay below severe limits, which is good, but we could get some heavy amounts of rain, a little loud at times, especially around the midnight hour. Morning showers, a few thunder showers tomorrow, high temp of 60. Wednesday looks pretty good, a few morning showers on Thursday.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we're going to be right back here at 6. We'll see you then. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.